Hi, and welcome to the second video blog for the Naturopaths Without Borders trip to Haiti and the Dominican Republic. My husband Sean and I are back in the Dominican Republic after spending 48 hours in Haiti, visiting a birth center in the country around the area of Cap Haitien on behalf of an organization called MamaBaby Haiti. They strive to reduce the maternal, fetal, and neonatal death rates in Haiti, and their birth center is almost finished. We were able to see it while we were there. The birth center itself is located in Montrouge, which is a few minutes outside of Cap Haitien. We're thinking of working with them in the future, and Naturopaths Without Borders will definitely be involved, sending volunteers and supplies. We had the privilege of meeting with community leaders in 8 villages around the area, just spreading the word that we're going to be coming into the area and gleaning information from them as well on what their needs are and how we could most help them. So on Friday of this last week, we crossed the border from the Dominican Republic into Haiti. It was an open border that day, and it was absolutely chaotic and crazy, but definitely an experience. We were picked up by Ari, who is a Haitian man who was hired by MamaBaby Haiti to be our driver and our translator. He speaks excellent English. He also knows many of the local pastors in villages around the area, so he was a great resource because he could take us right to their houses so we could talk to them directly. When we first got into Haiti, he drove us right to the birth center. We were able to check it out, take some pictures, meet the landlord, see what it's all about. It's a beautiful, beautiful building. It's 2 stories tall, plenty of rooms for giving birth, many bathrooms. It's got running water, electricity, washer, dryer, dishwasher, everything you could want. And then there's also some room upstairs for the staff and volunteers to live while they're there. It's really a beautiful place, so you'll have to check it out in our photo album. The villages that we went to with Ari, there were 8 in all. They're all extremely poor. Many of them don't have none of them have clean water, actually. Many of them don't have enough water, so they fight over the water during the dry season. In one village in particular, there was just one pump for between 5,000 and 10,000 people. So the people who were able to get water would pump it into buckets, and then the women would carry the buckets on their heads and walk around without holding it up at all. These big 10-gallon buckets. It was pretty amazing to see. These villages also suffer from diseases like hypertension and diabetes from eating a diet that's really far from their traditional diet. They have infectious diseases like malaria, dengue fever, typhoid fever. Many of the little kids are dying from diarrhea. It's just a mess. Some of them, when we asked about tuberculosis and HIV, they said, yeah, some people probably have it, but because we don't have enough doctors in the area, no one's getting a diagnosis. One village had a hospital, but it was definitely understaffed, quite expensive, and there was also a refugee camp very close to the hospital that was, obviously a lot of those people had higher needs than some of the people in the area. So it was quite crowded and quite busy. Another village had 2 clinics with 2 doctors, but it was too expensive for most of the people to afford, and none of the other villages had health care in their area. Many of the people said that they eat about once a day, and it's certainly not always nutritious food, so the need is just really great. By meeting with these 8 leaders, we were able to reach about 75,000 people through them. So if we could set it up so that doctors and midwives were going to these areas on a regular basis, it would really make a difference for them. Most of the women in the area give birth at home, unassisted, with no prenatal care. Some of them give birth on the back of a motorcycle or in the back of a vehicle on the way to the hospital. If they can afford it. If they get to the hospital, they will often have a forced cesarean because the hospital will make more money, and they will often find that their tubes have been tied without their consent because, again, the hospital will make more money. So it's a pretty sad situation, and having a birth center would definitely be a great need for this area. So next I want to talk about the innovation of the day. Sean's parents gave us a solar charger. It looks like this, and I'm going to open it up for you. It's got a suction cup on one side, opens up like this. What we did in Haiti is we set it on the dash of the vehicle that we were driving around in, so the sun could beat down on it, and then at night we would charge our iPods, which we had used for taking notes, while we were meeting with the leaders for learning Creole and for, relaxing and listening to music, and for medical data. We also were able to charge our video camera and other little devices that really kept us going because the electricity was so unreliable while we were there. So that concludes today's video blog. We'd like to thank MamaBaby Haiti for their encouragement, their support, for the opportunity to visit Haiti, to see the birth center, to meet the wonderful people we met, and Ari, our wonderful driver and translator, who drove us around, helped us to find people to talk to, showed us the sites in the area, and got us safely back across the border. So that's all for now. If you would like to donate, please visit their website at www.mamababyhaiti.org.